All right, y'all. We in the building. Let's see. I know it's some of the homies up in here. Um, I know it's not a sucker, bro. It's the actual apple, like with the. It's my little treat, man. I don't get that many treats in life.
Bro, that's even worse.
What? But I got a treat? What's wrong
Because
with
he
you,
said
man?
he tricking
That
or
the
what?
apple, like it's way more caramel, and then you gotta bite that motherfucking shit. Hell nah.
Hey, yo, hey, remember, you got to relax. We're only 30 seconds
Oh
in and
my
you
bad. I
cursing,
did
bro.
not know we was live, bro. My bad.
I s- Is it me? Is it me, y'all?
Not this
Is it
time.
me? Okay. All right. I just want to make sure, it wasn't me. Yeah, man, we live, we cranking. I see the fam popped in this joint. Let's see who we got. I see you, Miss D. What up, Dre? I see you. I see your X. Can you check on Twitter, make sure that thing is thanging. Miss J should be over on the us two. I mean on the rumbles, right? Making sure that thing is cracking. Miss J, how the rumbles is looking? Let's see what we got. All right, yo. All right. Let me make sure we got everything cracking. I see some of the homies up in here. I see you, Eureka. I see you, Eureka. I see Miss D. I see Eureka. I see D Train up in this joint. All right. Miss J just checked in on the Rumble. What up to all the homies on Rumble? I see y'all over there. Family, it's a couple cats on Rumble saying what's cracking. All right. So if y'all just got here, y'all missed them talking trash about me being happy. You know what I mean? Don't get it twisted. That's really, that's what they enjoy. They like to ruin my happiness. Anytime I'm feeling good about something or sitting here enjoying myself, this panel right here that you see, they like to crush it. Call
I
them the
thought we was
dream
telling you to
crushers.
be healthy. My bad.
You weren't. Y'all just trying to crush
I
my
was.
happiness. Like I said, it's more about you crushing my happiness. Had nothing to do with nothing about no health. If you want me to be healthy, there's no
Very
way you be trying to get me to eat
crushing
mushrooms.
No, not necessarily.
No way you be trying to get me to eat
Not no
mushrooms if
candy
you want
apple
me
head
to be
living.
happy.
Oh, it is 10:32. You know you ain't supposed to be
Mhm.
doing that.
Why?
Shame on you.
Why is that? What's wrong with
Man,
10:30?
it's too late for you to be eating all that sugar. You gonna get the
That's where the
diabetes.
gremlins come
You
in,
gonna get
man.
the sugar. That's what's gonna happen.
The gremlins gonna come in and take your teeth.
Hey, Ethan, you just told everybody that you're in the bathroom. Like
No, it
I
don't.
know you squatting. Oh yeah, you got. I hear
Nah.
you squatting right now, bro. I hear
Not at all.
exactly.
Bad Mike,
You
bro.
in the
Mike
Nah,
come to the
you in
lab.
the
nah. He
full
he
fledged
taking a
squat, bro.
bath like somebody else we know.
No, he ain't taking no bath. He's squatting. You know what I'm saying? That's why his diaphragm is goddamn it crunched up. And I hear the echo. I hear the echo. Tell us a bad mic. Your mic was fine 2 seconds ago before we went live. All of a sudden, I'm hearing echoes and bad mics, man.
I lean
I,
back for 2 seconds and
Well, at
everything's
least we
bad.
ain't hearing you chewing.
if I had girl, you know what, Jamila?
My
If it
bad. I
wasn't
thought
for
I
the
was on
fact,
mute. My bad.
if it wasn't for the fact that you was already feeling bad, I might have said something. But you know what? Since you already kind of down in the dumps, I'm gonna leave you be.
Down in the dumps.
Since you're down in the dumps, I'm gonna leave you be. What up, y'all? How y'all feeling? What up, Brandon? Hey, man. What up, Brandon? How you feel, cuz? Rap Cat, I see you, man. What's going on? What's up to the fam, y'all? Hey, yo, if you got here and you ain't said nothing in the chat, man, say something in the chat, man. Let me see what's cracking. Who just dropped off? I saw somebody just dropped off. Who is it? Oh, it's Rhonda. Hey, man, I want y'all to know. I got a panel full of people who don't know how to work the stream yard, man. I'm trying to tell you. I don't know if y'all noticed this, but every 5 seconds somebody drops off and I gotta bring them back on stage.
Why did I literally look at my phone when you said who dropped off? But I hear you talking and I'm like running back to my phone looking like, was it me? But I can hear you. See?
Mhm.
It be the levels. Big slow.
All right, y'all. What's cracking? I'm trying to give people a chance to get up in this joint, man. You know what? I'm gonna do something I haven't done in a while. So when I first did this, I used to start off. I think I used to start off the podcast playing this joint, or I would at least post it to the top. But as intro, man, I'm gonna play something I ain't played in a minute. Hold on, let me see. Where is it at? All right, wait. First, I gotta make sure my StreamYard is cracking. All right, yeah. I think that's how it goes. All right, so hold on. Let me make sure y'all can hear it. I'm gonna have to share my screen. It should be cool. Like I said, I ain't played this in a minute, man. I'm kind of slipping. I'm really upset that y'all didn't. Y'all ain't reminded me to play it. Let's see. Here we go.
Oh my God, I just got my braids done. My hair is so tight.
I know exactly what you mean, because she is so tender-headed too.
Yes, like why do they braid so tight?
I have no idea. Wow, this is great. But who's gonna clean up this mess that you made? We can make it in Hollywood. Look it up today after you get through. This is the last time. Come on.
Hey yo.
Hey, was that the outtakes at the end?
No. Hold on. God damn it. No, I was actually supposed to be part of this skit or whatever. That's it. I gotta play that more, man. I like that.
Actors in there.
Huh?
Who are the other actors?
One is my mom's twin, one is my stepdaughter, and my little cousin.
Wow.
Yeah. Dude, you should have saw them shooting that. They was my aunt really got in her role as an actress. She became a diva. I was like, yo, it's a good time though. So I actually shot another one at the same time I shot that one for Vigor. So I got to get it kind of edited up, or either that, or I'm gonna reshoot another one. I don't know. I'm gonna see. But yeah, hey, be sure, yo, if you on right now, subscribe. So whether you're on Rumble or YouTube or Twitter, whatever platform you on, make sure you following that platform. Also, if you got a YouTube, come on over to YouTube and subscribe to the channel. Same thing. If you got a Rumble, or if you're on Rumble, go to Rumble, subscribe over there too, man. You just never know. Huh? Y'all know some of these platforms be acting up. So we here just because we here today, don't mean we gonna be here. Yesterday's channels are not today's channels. You know what I'm saying? So yeah. By all means, subscribe to the channel. What's going on to the fam? Glad y'all here joining us. So for those that don't know, we're here on Mondays. This is around the time that we get going, right? So it's starting to become regular. I'm starting to be able to pin down exactly when we can get going. So by all means, put us on your calendar. We semi-regular with this thing. With the podcast, the podcast is Conspiracy Cookout with the 10th Floor Family. You can see us scrolling across the bottom. We're on pretty much all platforms. So every place that pods are cast, man, we there. So don't so if you like what we do here, this is like a bite-sized to go play version of the podcast, the Conspiracy Cookout, right? So this is Conspiracy Cookout Express. So be sure to like, if you like this and you like, yo, I want to hear some more, check out the podcast. Okay. Some people like this because it's the video aspect to it, where yo, I'm talking and I can also show y'all what I be talking about. So I think some people like the video aspect of it. So I get that too. Okay. Let's see what we got going. The schedule for the podcast, the live session. So we record live on Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays. So Mondays is YouTube. You hear with us now. Wednesdays is Conspiracy Cookout, and Fridays is 10 for a Hat Time. We do all of that on Clubhouse. So if you like the podcast, you want to be there live, boom, hop on Clubhouse. You can find us in The Painful Truth. Look up a house called The Painful Truth. Best way to get going. Other than that, yo, we here, man. Appreciate y'all for hanging out with the fam. I want to we can hop right to it for the most part. So y'all already saw the Vigor for Pain. Don't forget blackistheuniform.com. Blackistheuniform.com. You can get on there, get your talking tees. All right, some of the tees got some of my favorite quotes. Also, get your astrology t-shirts. Get your astrology t-shirts. You can grab you some slides. I got my slides on right now. Get you a sweater. Right, it's hoodie season. Don't forget it's hoodie season, man. You can't be in these streets without a hoodie, bro. So, all right, yeah, blackistheuniform.com. Blackistheuniform.com. The gear is dope. And vigforpain.com. Y'all just saw the commercial. World's greatest topical CBD products, man. Cool. All right. That being the case, let's talk about what we're gonna do today. So the general format for this, which we kind of settled on, is we're going to do some news for a little bit, maybe about 30, 45 minutes. After that, we'll get to the main cook. The main cook tonight came about randomly. I was thinking about what I wanted to talk about, and I was going through, for those that don't see, like anytime y'all look at my anytime I share my screen, y'all see I got a billion tabs up. So I'll see something and just kind of keep it up. Then I'll just kind of go back through the tabs because most of that stuff I want to talk about. So in case y'all ever wondering, I got a buttload of stuff like in the shoot to talk about. So it's just me figuring out, hey man, what do I want to talk about today? So I was looking at a couple clips and I was like, you know what? This would be a good topic to talk about. So we're going to talk about the idea of time. Okay, and how time is calculated and where we are in time and some of the ways in which time has been manipulated and who's figuring that thing out and how did they figure it out. So we're going to dig into that part of it, mainly because I think this being kind of the newer medium, I'd like to lay a foundation for where we are as a group. The things we talk about, like I don't want to start talking about stuff as it like, so like I'm talking about to my panel, right? And I'll talk to them very matter of factly about some stuff that everybody might not know. And so I want to kind of establish where we are in our level of craziness, right? We're your favorite conspiracy cousins. Like all them conspiracies, we be on all of that. There isn't too many that we haven't delved into. And so I want to kind of bring people up to speed on where we at kind of in the conspiracy space. So like I'll mention a flat earth thing in a second, just with the understanding that everybody already knows that the earth is flat. Like there can't be anybody that thinks that the earth is a globe. And so I'll say something flat earth and then just keep it pushing like everybody knows it. And so in order to make sure that everybody's up to speed, I figure we got to cover some pretty basic stuff, right? I want to make sure everybody's on the same page in terms of where we are. And so I think dealing with the time issue is one of those connector issues that gets into a lot of different stuff. So I think this would be cool.
So what I think is interesting, right? How remember I was telling you how there's so many levels of alignment where you might say something or want something and I go somewhere and I see it and I find it, right? How about also while I was at the bookstore, and I know this isn't the time that we're talking about, but why did I just buy like 3 or 4 different Time magazine photograph books, like through certain decades? And now you're talking about time. And I never told you that, but I thought that was interesting.
Time magazine photo books. Is that what you said?
Yeah, so there's the anniversary books of
Mhm.
their um the magazine. So I have Time. I just bought the 75 years from 1923 to 1998, and it's an
Mhm.
anniversary celebration book, but it's all like it's a photo book with everything that was kind of like going on in a
Mhm.
lot of their covers. I bought the great images of the 20th century, which it says the photographs that define our time. And
Mhm.
then I also stop, Ari, please. I also bought the Time Annual from 99 to
Okay.
2000, which was the year in review. And then Time, which goes to war. It's from World War II to the War on Terror, stories of Americans in battle and on the home front. So those are
Oh, okay.
the books
That's
that I
cool.
bought. And I was like, huh, that's funny. We're going to talk about time. And I just bought
Yeah, I know,
all of
right?
these
All
books
right.
that, we can always
Cool.
reference anytime, through the podcast. So that's just more information,
All
like when
right.
we talk about different things.
Good stuff. All right, man. Let me check in, make sure everybody good to go. Let's see. Rhonda, you still up and making fungus uh flavored fungus? Nah, Rhonda? Flavor fungus got your tongue? Rhonda. Where'd she go? She was just here. All right. Let's see. Paige, what do you hey, Paige, you there?
Yes.
Did you finish making your fungus tuna casserole?
Wow. It's just tuna casserole with cream of mushroom and
Yeah, mushrooms, fungus. That's what I said.
okay. Well, my cream of mushroom turned out fantastically, and it's really delicious.
Uh,
Somebody told me.
yeah. And why all of a sudden you'll sound like you on the roof?
What's that mean?
All right, that's better. Okay, cool. Yeah, I was just making sure you was there. All
Mhm.
right, cool. Ethan, you out the bathroom, bro? Nope. I'm gonna
I
take
don't
that as
know.
a
It depends. It depends on how it sounds. It still sound
God damn.
echoey.
You sound like you at Rhonda house.
Damn. I'm about to use my phone then. I'll be back.
All right, cool. X, you good to go, bro?
Solomon is effective.
My man, AF baby. Where's she at?
Right here with your niece, here.
AF baby with the baby in the background. Cool. We heard Jamila Marty. Keep on trucking, bro.
How about them Cowboys?
Said nobody ever. All right, cool. Yo, let's get going with some news stories, man. Let's see what's cracking in the news. All right, actually there's a couple of things I want to talk to y'all about. Y'all know one of the things. Hey, I need somebody to remind me to ask Chop if he did what I asked him to do. All right, so y'all remember what I asked Chop to do, right? That he didn't do. Anybody remember?
Watch Black
Watch
Mirror.
Black Mirror? Yeah.
Watch Black Mirror. Yes. All right. So I want to know, do y'all remember? Where is it at? Oh yeah, here it goes. Do y'all remember this episode right here? Where is it at? It is this one. Do y'all remember this episode right here? Can y'all see that? Uh-oh. That. Y'all remember this episode? Can y'all see it?
Yeah.
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 Wait, I don't.
Yeah, that's when they was running on the bicycle or
She was, yeah,
bicycling
was
for
she
the
the,
energy.
was that the
Yes.
one where the black man was in jail too for the longest time?
It wasn't jail.
50
This is
million
where
marriage.
people live. Yeah, 15 million merits. That was the name of the episode, right? It's called 15 million merits. And
And
so
wasn't he using all his merits to get to that lady?
He was
yeah.
And then
Captain
doing
Yeah,
Save a
so
porn.
Ho.
she could become
Exactly. Who end up
famous.
doing porn?
Yeah. The
She
brother
don't
was,
want to be
was
saved.
the brother was cycling his ass off. So in the episode, pretty much it was a dystopian. Like they never show anything outside of the building, right? And so apparently people had to produce energy via cycling, and based on the amount of energy that they produced, they got paid for that, and they got to use those credits to get food and upgrade their living facilities and watch TV and all of that stuff. And so they were living in like these little cubicles, right? They were living in these little cubicles, and everything they saw was on screen. So even like when they were looking at like the outside, like all of that was on screens. Get what I'm saying? And so when I saw it, I'm like, okay, like I get it, right? It's a dystopian future, all this other stuff. And so this right here is the scene at the end, right? Where his view is better, right? I don't think it's the real outside, but it's better than it was when he was in this thing right here, right? So again, Black Mirror has been used as a how-to book. It was like somebody looked at Black Mirror and was like, you know what, that's a great idea, let's do it. So check this out right here. Where is it at? Let's see. Is it this one? Is it this one? Wait. I think it's no, not that one. This one? Not this one. Man, if y'all don't know, I got a bunch of tabs. Y'all already know what my tabs is looking like. But it's okay. We got it. We're gonna bring it together. Oh, yep, here it goes right here. All right, so check this thing out right here. Let me get y'all on my screen. Look at this.
By Liquid View. The Liquid View digital is recessed into the wall. So it looks,
now, hold on.
If you have an obstructed view in your home or place of work, we have the perfect solution for you. Digital Windows by Liquid View. The Liquid View digital window is recessed into the wall. So it looks like an actual window. Plus, it comes with the ability to change views on your phone. Watch this. If you have
Is that Black Mirror or what, man?
Okay, but I think this is just like a fancier version of they were showing on Amazon for a while this like viral projector where you could like project whatever you want and make it look like you have windows in your bedroom. I just feel like someone took that and just capitalized on it.
Yo, that's how it starts. Next thing you know, you living in a like, so again, she's selling it with, oh, let's say you have an apartment and your window faces a wall or a building, right? Well, here, check out Liquid View. Next thing you know, it's basement apartments. You don't, just because you live in a basement doesn't mean it has to look like it. Next thing you know, it's the goddamn container homes. Oh, just because you live in a container home, you can still have a view. And then next thing you know, these things are on airplanes and people think they're going to Mars.
I can see
Yeah.
that.
Know what I'm saying? People
That's
think
what
they're
Will
going
Smith
to.
was talking about that green screen. Remember?
Mm-hmm.
Talking about celebrities, we don't be having time to really do all this stuff. It's the magic of the green screen. Yeah.
I'd love to
Mm-hmm.
see how realistic it actually looks. I feel like it's one of those things that cameras and photographs videos really well, right? And then you get up on it, you just got these huge ass televisions that it's like uncanny valley territory.
So it's one of them. I think it's one of the things where you're right now, where because the technology is kind of new right now, it's like, all right, I kind of get it. But when they develop it, it'll be like, oh, I couldn't even tell. You know what I mean? It's just new right now. Other than that, like it's one of the things as you go on, it's gonna get better and better and better. It's kind of like TV. Remember TV? You know what? Y'all ain't old enough to remember TV, kind of. old school
What?
TV before flat screens. Y'all ain't have big butt TVs. Y'all don't know nothing about turning the knobs on TV. Y'all don't remember nothing about the TV having two knobs.
It did.
Bro,
It had a knob at the
don't
top and a knob at the
disrespect us
bottom.
like we ain't come
Period.
up around
Right.
floor
Man,
sets.
Exactly.
y'all youngins, man. Y'all not two knobbers. You know what I mean, what Ethan is? Ethan was saying he
Don't
could.
make me find no old school picture with the 2 knob TV in the
Don't
background. Okay.
don't act
Exactly.
like we didn't know the TV used to be decorative and a little artistic piece of the living room.
Yeah, see,
What
y'all
you know
don't know.
about the first remote only had one button on it?
Hey,
What you
bro,
mean
what
the
you know about,
remote? I was the remote.
bro?
Me too.
What you know about the first remote had a cord. That's why they be advertising cordless remotes. I remember with the remote that was connected to the TV. Well, yeah, it was a remote, but it was a cord that connected to the TV.
So you
See, y'all
always
don't
got
even
the
remember
little
Y'all
that.
Mickey
bougie.
Mouse.
We ain't never had no remote. We just turned the knob by ourselves. Like Marty said. Like y'all bougie.
Yeah, y'all ain't had the two knobs, the UHF and the VHF. There you go, mine equals blown.
I
Yep,
definitely had the
UHF and
knob.
VHF. Know what I mean? And then when the knob broke because that little the plastic clicker like that turned
Some
that
pliers.
turned it, get some pliers, bruh. So yeah, y'all know
Uh-huh.
nothing about that. Nothing at all. What Ethan? I need Ethan here. I know Rhonda remember it, so it's just right now it's just me and Rhonda.
But no, this
That's right. When it
company,
was on TV, when it was a box just so you could get one channel outside of regular
Yeah.
television.
Mm-hmm.
this company, it would pair well with what's that guy? Howie Mandel. He has another like a new company that's he's calling some kind of it's a play on holographs or something. But basically, it's what they're showing in the clip that you just showed, except with people. And the way they use dimension, it makes it look like the person is actually there. So you kind of feel like it's a hologram type of feeling. I'm thinking if that company married the company you just showed us
What's
and
the name of
had
the company? Let me see what you got.
I just know it's owned by Howie Mandel. I don't remember the name of the company.
Let's see. Howie Mandel.
I want to say it's something
Um,
with holograph in it or something.
hologram. Let's see. Company. There we go. Hologram company.
But if they got together, that could be a really viable little product. And I'm not gonna hold you. I'm not saying that I can see what you're saying. Like they could take over and they could convince us that we can all just live in basements and be cool with it. But I'm not gonna hold you. I might could have one in my house, like depending on where the house was. Like,
No, you couldn't.
okay, fine, I could have one in another house, and then because
No, you couldn't.
imagine,
I already said no. I said no to that already.
so imagine the rent that people would pay if you're like, oh, by the way, we've got like the high tech view windows or whatever, the liquid windows.
See, here you go. And now you wanna be in on the scam. Is that what you're saying?
I'm about my money. That is all.
Oh God. All right, hold on. Here goes the Howie
Hey,
Mandel.
she want to be DJ Envy. She want to make people think they living somewhere else.
Right, exactly. Hold on, let me see. All right, so here goes the Howie Mandel thing. Where'd Ethan go? He ain't came back yet. Let's see. There's the Howie Mandel thing right here. All right, so is this it right here? So apparently this is a hologram and it's kind of in a box.
Right.
Okay, and so it's giving kind of 3D thing. Now is this this is life size. What are they using this for? Like what's the purpose of this?
It's so that you can have live events. Like, let's say you want to have Howie Mandel in New York, but Howie Mandel's in Florida. Now he can do the live show or event from Florida in New York.
Ah, I got you.
And even for marketing, like if you want to market the new whatever, outside of an H&M store, now you have real life models inside of these boxes, but they're not actual humans.
Yeah. So I see what you're saying, where you can throw this thing in conjunction with the window technology, and now people think they're going to Mars or going to the moon, all this other bull crap. Got you. So yeah, this is all part of the same cell job. Huh. What's this called? Howie Mandel is partnering with a unique tech company that's making life a lot easier for germaphobe like himself. What's the name of the company though?
Proto
World's
Inc.
first 4K. What is it?
Proto Inc.
Photo Inc. Okay.
I mean, like Proto Incorporated.
Oh, okay. All right. Well, there y'all go. So 15 million merits is coming to life. Like some of y'all, and especially in New York, I think it's gonna go hard in New York. Does anybody got windows in New York? Now people can have apartments in the middle of the building and they still have a window. All right. Everybody's got the view. So all right, guys, y'all seen it here. Who just dropped off? Is that Rhonda?
Hey, you know
Rhonda
who
right
gonna
there.
have them? Your little Asian hostel things that you had in Colorado. They gonna have them. Or was it Sacramento? The little 16-row pizza
Oh
hut thing.
yeah. So dude, that's just like Black Mirror right there. That's literally Black Mirror. Them people was in them little bitty boxes and they had screens everywhere. It's Black Mirror. Come to life. Y'all heard it here first, guys. All right. Let's see what we got next. Why is Jamila dropping off? Can somebody tell me that? Somebody, anybody. Can y'all tell me exactly why Jamila's dropping off? Let's see. So that was the 15 million merits thing. All right. Let's see. In the world of what the absolute hell is going on. Okay, let's see what we got here. In the world of what the hell. There we go. Zelensky, president of Ukraine, asks Marina Abramovich, spirit cooker extraordinaire, to be ambassador for the Ukraine. Are y'all seeing this? Y'all do know who Marina Abramovich is, right? This is she's the leading. What's the best way to describe her? Is Satanist? I don't think Satanist is the word. What's a good
High Witch?
You said high witch?
Yeah.
Yeah, world's leading high witch in Hollywood, where it's the epicenter of the bull. So Marina is she's the one that does all that eat the cake anime. She's the one that make the cake. The spirit cooking, the making the concoction from all the feces and the urine and the semen and putting it in the cake and in the food and then having people eat it. That's her, right? That's Marina Abramovich. And so, yeah, the Ukraine, which further lets you know exactly what the Ukraine is on.
So,
Right?
side note,
Mm-hmm.
before you finish, right? Did you know that I just saw a video with this lady who was making a sculpture out of semen, like a partner, like a girlfriend sent in her boyfriend's semen samples,
Ugh.
and she made it into powder and put it into dye and created like an elephant sculpture or something out of it. I was like, what? Why?
That
Elephant is funny.
doesn't she make jewelry also? I think she makes jewelry
She
out of
makes
it.
all kind of stuff out of semen samples. I said, wow.
I would never trust her with my man's semen.
Girl. And then it makes you think, like, I mean, I know that this, like, oh, well, I'm dehydrating it and turning it into powder, but at the same time, like, are the cells still living? Like, how? I don't know.
So, how much semen is she sending in?
I don't know. Bro, the whole process was weird to me. I feel like I put it in Discord or something. But I thought it was just all weird. Like, why are
You know what,
people?
Jamila? Some stuff you can keep to yourself.
It's giving gallons.
It's giving.
Gallons.
It's giving. How did she acquire it to even send?
What dude got time to give his girl a
You
gallon?
know, I don't think
Bruh.
it was a gallon in a day.
That's what I'm saying. Was she like holding it over time? Was it how you're right. How large is the sample for her to be able to why would somebody want to capture somebody's semen, dehydrate it, turn it into powder, create a dye out of it, and then decorate a sculpture? Like what?
It's given she got secret government contracts she don't want people to know
Listen.
about.
Okay.
Well, you
The-
only you only said that because I only said that because you was talking about Amina Abramovich and how what she be doing with like the semen and the feces and the blood and spirit cocaine. So it was relevant.
You know what, Jamila? I'm gonna
It
give you a
was
pass on
relevant,
that.
Linnell. It was relevant.
Yeah, I guess I can give you a pass on the fact that it definitely was relevant.
I mean, we are in what the fuck, right?
Yeah, it's definitely what the fuck.
And this
Um,
person isn't even on the level of Amina Abramovich. She's just like some random, person that just does this for fun.
she does it for fun, so
I mean, I
she
think
don't
it's like her business, but it's sort of like she likes to do it.
find the name of the business for me.
Look in the Discord. It should be recent. I think I just put it in there like yesterday or today.
All right. So yeah, this is Marina Abramovich Zelensky, the actor, has asked Marina Abramovich to be an ambassador for Ukraine. And the most messed up thing about all of this is she says, I've been invited by Zelensky to be an ambassador of Ukraine to help the children affected by rebuilding schools. The last person you want around your children is this lady. This is the last person you want around your kids or doing anything with kids. You might as well put Hillary Clinton or somebody in charge of the kids. I mean, putting her in charge of rebuilding schools is as worse as the Clinton initiative being associated with the Amber Alert system. It's just wild. Just freaking wild. Let's see. She added, I have also been invited to be a board member of the Babain Yar organization to continue to protect the memorial. The Holocaust Memorial Center to Jews murdered by Nazis in Ukraine was damaged by Russian missile attacks last year. Oh, wow. There you go. So, yeah, man. I don't know what to tell y'all. Is this the face of somebody that you want doing something for children? You know what I'm saying?
Amanda Booth is her name. She's been selling semen jewelry.
Amanda Booth has been selling semen jewelry. Hold on. Amanda Booth. Let me look this up for y'all. Amanda Booth. Oh, jewelry. Oh, Jesus Christ, it popped up. Hold on. Oh, I make jewelry out of semen. Okay. And let me see. See if I show this to y'all. Let's see what we got. There it goes. That's semen jewelry right there. But the process literally stinks. A Canada-based jeweler claimed that she creates necklaces and bracelets from semen sent to her by clients for their spouses. Clay sculptor and jeweler Amanda Booth revealed last month that she started making what she calls jizz jewelry in 2021 after someone commented on one of her TikToks. asking whether she ever considered using man juice in her creations. After making a half-joking post about the request on Facebook, Booth and her husband began receiving actual requests. Booth explains that hundreds of clients have since messaged her for special pieces. However, the process isn't exactly pleasant. Oh, wow. So this is it right here? Okay. So maybe she mashed it up into, let's see, fresh samples are one thing, but when they've been in the mail for a little bit, I mean, it smells like semen. You know what I mean? Well,
No.
okay.
Yeah.
Somebody say something?
I was just saying, ew.
Yeah.
Oh, wait, is that her? So she folds it into the clay?
Yeah, so she dries it. So it's like she dehydrates it, turns it into like powder like you would like an herb, right? And then she folds it or puts it into the medium and then adds like color or different things to it so that the semen is captured inside of like almost like how we put like stuff in like a carrier oil. That's what she does with the semen.
Jesus. Okay.
So it's almost like, is that like considered like a talisman? Like because you're carrying around a part of someone,
She got too much time on her hands, and so do these other people who sending her this semen.
You should see the elephant. The elephant. The elephant sculpture, bruh. I
I
was like,
definitely hold on, wait. I definitely
what?
want to be the elephant in the room. I take back what I said.
What the hell?
How do we get here?
Hey, I don't know, man. My bad. Jamila brought it up. It wasn't me. Hey, if you listening to YouTube land, this is Jamila.
You
Nothing to do with me.
literally was talking about, the Abramovich girl and how she does. And I'm saying she's not the only weird person. I shouldn't say weird, but she's not the only person that's doing those type of things. Like she is on a higher level, but there are regular people like you and I that are also doing stuff like this. You know what I mean? So it's not like you have to be on some weird like Holly weird type level. Like these are basic common people that are also diving into these practices. That's what my point was.
That's why.
Sure. I'm going to say, yeah, it's pretty weird, and there's a lot of people out there. And Paige, don't get no ideas. Okay, cool. Let's see what we got going. Got a couple more. Allie, you here? Where Allie at?
Yeah.
All right, Allie, I got another one for you. Hold on, where's it at? Let me find mine. Let's see. This one for you. So this is Tesla. Hundreds of Tesla owners complain of unexpected phantom braking. A KGW unexpected investigation found incidents of phantom braking in which Tesla vehicles suddenly slow down without cause are more widespread than previously reported. All right. Well-documented hundreds of complaints about Tesla cars slamming the brakes for imagined hazards. It
I
even
don't know,
happened.
I rented a car like 2 weeks ago, a Chevy Malibu, and it did the same thing to me. And I was trying to see if it had like the little, I don't know what it's called. You know how nowadays cars be having that little safe drive bullshit?
Mm-hmm.
I didn't see how I can turn it on or off. But randomly, that shit did it to me in the Chevy Malibu. And I low-key got whiplash. That's not funny, but that's crazy.
What, the car just stopped on its own?
Yes, like the car literally just braked hard as fuck, and I was just driving. Mind you, there weren't no cars in front of me or behind me, so I ain't fuck up nothing. But I was just like, "What the fuck?"
I'd have
And
went
I
to
was
the
like,
hospital.
"Okay."
Hmm.
So I
I'd have
pulled
had
over
Chevy on the
into
phone.
like the little parking lot, like the closest parking lot, and I'm like looking at all the buttons, like, how the fuck do I turn this, safe drive? But I couldn't figure it out, so I was just like, all right now. But yeah,
Hey,
that's crazy if Tesla's doing that, because I'm telling you, I feel like I got whiplash from the Chevy Malibu doing that to me. So
You
that's
do
wild.
got whiplash.
You
It's
talking about you?
no real
Oh my
stuff.
god.
Whiplash can set in the next day and stuff, man. You better go to the hospital.
all right. Yeah, guys. So be sure that Tesla is I know Allie's gung ho on getting one, man. I don't know how many
Oh, I'm still getting one, and I got a story for y'all. Okay, so boom, right now Teslas are giving out a tax credit of $7,500, right? So what that means is you go buy a Tesla. When you do your taxes, you can write off $7,500 of that Tesla. But the gag is what they're trying to do starting in January, because that tax credit is until the end of the year. But what they're trying to start doing in January is any dealership that has a Tesla that qualifies, they're trying to basically give that tax credit to the dealership, so they're gonna take it off the on top price. So if you want to get a Tesla, you know what I mean, wait until January. You get $7,500 off.
and you know what? You're gonna have to add that price onto the hospital bill when the goddamn Tesla slam on brakes on the highway. But okay. Okay. Mm, so you know what? I meant to talk about this right after we did the window, right? So check this out. What do y'all think? So we just got done talking about the windows, right? That pretty much it's picture frames where they're showing you something that's not there, right? So movable picture on your wall, right, where you can pretend like you got, you know, a view. What do y'all think is the next step in the process? What's next? Now that they done gave you a fake picture, I mean a fake window where you think you're looking outside. What's next? What y'all think? Any guesses? Well, no worries, I got it for you. So what we have now is clothes. That's right, you heard it. Clothes that literally change while you're wearing them. You guys seen this? So it just changes. Right? It's your fashion changes. Whatever the dress is, there's all kinds of designs. It can be one thing after another. Your favorite performer doesn't have to go backstage to change anymore. Clothes change right there. You know what I'm saying?
Beyonce or Taylor Swift should have debuted that at their tour.
Man. You know what? It's definitely something Taylor Swift would have debuted. I
Yeah,
don't know.
those are the only two that's big enough to do something like that. Nobody else, like, it wouldn't hit the
Ladies,
same.
if you getting married, think about it like this. It could be your wedding dress and your reception dress.
Oh God. And so this thing it moves when you move to it. Got a thing where it moves when you move to it. So everything's going digital. It's the Internet of Things now, right? The Internet of Things. And so what's the Internet of People for real, for real? So there you go. They got dresses that are that change. Okay, they're gonna be changing colors, gonna be changing styles. Yeah, it's a whole thing, man. It's a whole thing. All right. Let's see what else I got for y'all. Mm, not that. We'll save that one for a little later. All right, here. Let's go with this one. So Jamila, you'd appreciate this one. This is a gentleman going to the school board meeting. All right, and so he's going to complain about things that are in the library at school. He's not very happy with some of the materials that the school is providing. All right, so let's listen to my man get busy.
Crowd. I could choose.
Mr. Jordan,
Mr.
do
Jordan,
not
hold up, Mr.
put that
Jordan.
right down. Put that right down. That is inappropriate material for a forum.
Schools, folks.
Mr. Jordan.
This is in our schools. This is in our schools.
Mr. Jordan.
Mr. Jordan.
And you are
put
now
that down.
sharing it publicly with everyone that
This
has
is a forum that is open to all people of all age groups. That is inappropriate material to bring to this forum. If you have a problem with that, I'll ask you to leave.
Can I have my time back? You
No,
no,
you can't.
Mr. Counselor, he just.
You
took my
understand
time.
what I just
He
said?
I'm not. You're not the counselor.
Excuse me.
The head chair. Sorry.
It has now been paused. The time has now been restarted.
Thank you.
You have 3 minutes and 10 seconds.
And this doesn't concern you as parents? Really? You think this is appropriate when the author of this book clearly stated it was for 18 plus? There's no freshman, no sophomore, no junior that is 18 years old. And you're okay with this? And you're telling me not to show it to our community. But our school says it's okay to have for our kids?
If this is considered inappropriate for a community event, then it should also be considered inappropriate to have in our schools. This is adult material.
Think about that right there.
Wait, the picture disappeared. What was in there? What was
Oh, you see it?
I missed it.
Yeah.
What was like he was moving the page too fast. What was it?
It was someone giving fellatio. I think it was a child, not a child. It was a youth.
Oh no! And he said it was he said it was inappropriate for the forum around adults, but they got it in the school library.
Treated as such. Period.
Hold on, let me see. I'll replay it for you. Yeah, so here, let me see if I can. So you see it?
Oh, yeah, that's terrible.
Oh my god.
Man, it looked like two dudes, right? That's two dudes.
That's why I said, oh my god.
Two
Mhm. Yeah, he's too young, and yeah, this that little baby video right here, man. Somebody took steals from the little baby joint.
Hey, yo, easy on the baby. That ain't him.
Hey, man, his people gonna be after you. You better chill.
I'm just saying. Somebody took steals some from the little baby joint. But yeah, man. It's everywhere. And yeah, somebody say they seen another video with a guy who read explicit book. Yeah, I saw that too. Like it was some real explicit material that they putting in these schools. And when you bring it to the school board, people are like, whoa, we can't have that here. You can't have it here, but it's okay to be in schools? What are we doing? So yeah, it's that kind of thing, yo. It's that kind of thing. Yeah, that's pretty wild. Let's see what I got for you people. Oh, you know, all right, so I got all right. Yeah, let's go with this one. This is pretty interesting. This for all you people. Especially I wish I could show this to my mother because she stays giving my son all kinds of random stuff. That's why he be down like every time he over here, he go down there with her. Man. So check out this.
To all my American followers, when your candies come over here, the ingredients get slapped a big warning label. Warning, E102, E10 may have adverse effects on activity and attention in children. Contains genetically modified ingredients. See? This big warning label thing slapped over all of your candy. So you guys can see, look. All of these candies have the same warnings, the same stickers get put over when they reach the UK. See? Look. All these chemicals. So please, if you are giving your kids any of these things, avoid them.
There you go. Warning label on all the candy as it gets to the UK. Oh my God. All right. So the last thing I wanted to show you, I thought this was pretty wild. So we've talked about stuff like this before, but I don't know if anybody's ever shown kind of the how-to or the breakdown of it. So check this out. So this is somebody, y'all know how we always talk about like the free energy people, how they always killing off people who come up with free energy devices and who will be showing free energy devices and trying to patent stuff. So my man, we got another one. We're gonna see how long he makes it. All right. So this is my man talking about hydrogen engines. Oh, wait.
Government doesn't know this, then there's something very wrong with our government. Of course they know it. Not only do they know it, the elite knows it, and the oil company knows that you can run your car and heat your house from water, but they don't want us to know about it. So I'm going to show you how that's possible right now. What I have here is a plumbing tube. It's empty, and I have this piece of metal put together with rubber bolts and rubber washers in between them. None of the metal is touching each other, and 2 wires on the top. Okay, easy thing. You can do it with a knife and fork if you want. Just stick a knife and fork in a bucket of water, and as long as they don't touch each other, you can create hydrogen gas. So here's the tube. I'm going to fill it up with water so you can see that. Hopefully that's enough. And I'm going to put this thing inside of it like this. Make sure it's, I might need a little bit more water. There we go. And this thing here is a battery pack for jump starting the car. Turn this around. Turn this one around. So don't fall over. And I connect this one here and this one here. And now we have instant reaction of hydrogen and oxygen separating. Now the bubbles is actually hydrogen gas. You can see the gas coming off it. This ignites, so flammable, so powerful. As you'll see, I'll try and get close and hopefully I can get this right. And it explodes. I'll do that right again for you to see, because it generates a lot of hydrogen gas, and this could be what could be fuel in your car. And it's very easy. It's made on demand. I don't know if you could see that on the video, but there's definitely a flame and an explosion, and you can see it's making it pretty quick. So that's water. So we've been lied to pretty much our whole lives about pretty much everything.
There you go. Hydrogen engines. Hydrogen. Water's combustible. He showed you how to do it. There are people out there who convert their engines to HHO, hydrogen engines, and done all the time. All right, so don't say you haven't seen it. All right. We're good on that. Any questions? Everybody's cool on the hydrogen engines? Like I said, he said you can do that with a knife and a fork, or probably just 2 knives or 2 forks or something. All right, you can make a combustible situation with just some metal, some water, and a battery. Feel me?
Probably the same thing as making the colloidal silver, just putting the rods.
It is, yeah, it is, right? Because that's the process of making it looks real similar, right? Got the leads in there, got the silver in there. Yep, I think you're right, bro. Think you're right. All right, let's see. Aren't some of the Amazon vehicles running on hydrogen? I think so. So no, I think it's natural gas. I don't think they're doing hydrogen, Brittany. I think it's natural gas. The hydrogen stuff, you got to look. If you look on YouTube or Rumble or something like that, you can find people who've converted their cars to hydrogen, to where they're running off water. Like you can literally see them fill up their tanks with water, and that's what they use to drive their car. So it's something you can kind of have your car converted to that thing. But it's not something that you should be advertising because, then somebody comes to talk to you.
It definitely is something you should be advertising because they can't kill us all.
Man, GMOs and I don't know. But definitely something to look into. All right, here, let's get to it, y'all. Let's get to the main thing. It's about that time. Oh, you know what? Here, real quick, just because we on free energy, I want to show y'all another form of free energy, right? So, just to show you, it's not just one thing, right? It's all. There are many ways to generate energy that are all around us. 2 magnets and some copper wire, and that's a motor. 2 wires, copper magnet. So 2 wires, copper wire, and it's powering a motor. Easy. This is easy right here. So this is one of the things where we talk about how we're intentionally being retarded and energy is being kept from us because there are plenty of ways to get energy that don't require burning fossil fuels. Like, this is mad simple. Mad simple. Even if your whole car didn't run off of it, imagine all the stuff in your car that could run off of this. Right? Imagine all the stuff in your car that could run off of something like this. All right. So yeah, easy. All right, let's get to the man cook. What you say, Brittany? In the movie The Big Short, about the crash of housing market, the fund manager at the end started investing in water. They're trying to make it a commodity. Trying to make it a commodity. Yo, where Ethan go? Ethan, where you at, bro? Hey, I'd rather have you in the toilet, Ethan, than not here, bro. You should have just stayed, It's okay as long as you'd have sprayed or washed your hands afterwards. You'd have been all right. Hey, Jamila, is that your people right there?
Yeah, that's my sister.
Yeah, I wasn't trying to put it out there like that. But yeah, okay, cool. I kind of figured that hyphen looked real Pittsburghish. I'm like, yo, that's a Pittsburgh hyphen?
Whatever. You ain't trying
Okay.
to put it out there, but you putting it out there. Come on now.
I'm just saying. You put it out there. I was gonna let
Yeah, I
it.
didn't tell nobody where we was from. What is we doing?
They can hear you. Like, who the hell can't? Yo, if you can't just listen to Jamila and know where the fuck you from,
Shut up.
you told on yourself. Most people probably know what block you from. Like, oh yeah, that's that.
Whatever.
You know what I'm saying? That's that Jefferson Street accent. Goddamn it. What the hell? All right, y'all. So here, check it out. Today's topic came about because I was, like I said, I'd be scrolling through all my clips and people send me all kinds of links and stuff. And I was looking at this. I was like, ooh. Hey, matter of fact, I'm gonna show y'all the clip. Let me see. I should have still had the clip up. I was looking at the clip, and where is it at? This ain't it. That's not it. Yep, this was it right here. And I was like, you know what? This is something that
What if everything you knew about
definitely talk about.
time was a lie, according to German historian?
Oh man. All right. So look at the share screen option. So this is one of the things that we've talked about a lot over here, right? We talked about it on the podcast a couple of times, and so it's one of those things where I talk about it in passing, and I don't think twice about it because I've talked about it so much. I'm pretty confident that it is what it is, and so when I talk to people about it, like I assume that everybody knows that, it's the truth right here, and I don't have to convince you. So, if you're new here, just know this is one of them things that, oh no, it's definitely the truth. All right, hold on. There you go, Ethan. Let's see my man. Ethan, you still in the toilet, bro?
No, how it sound?
Better, much better, my man. See,
All
I
right,
could have
cool.
used you up here for the two knob talk with the TVs, bro. You ain't got the youngins up here, bro.
Oh man, I used to have a color TV and a black and white TV. The black and white TV was for sound. The
The
color
sound,
TV
yeah. But it was the
and
picture. Yeah, I know.
it
That's poor
was.
people. That's poor people stuff right there, bro. I'm with it.
Yep.
All right. So today's cook comes from this video right here. I saw it and I was like, yo, we definitely need to revisit this thing. All right. So here, I'm gonna show y'all this video and then we'll get to kind of the other thing. And yeah, Diamond, you heard it. You need two. If you ain't had two, like, because the TVs didn't last. And the picture and the sound for whatever reason, the sound on the color TV was always going out. It's like you couldn't have sound and color at the same time. They had to pick one. So the black and white TV, the sound was always there. So you had two. You would see people with these big old TVs, and then they would have a small TV on the top of the big TV. And so they would cut the big one on, and they would have a picture, the color TV picture, and then the small TV would be playing the sound and stuff, man. Dude, it was just a thing, man. So anyway, yeah, this is what we're going to talk about.
What if everything you knew about time was a lie? According to German historian Herbert Illig, the year isn't 2023, it's 1726. The German historian claims that the Gregorian calendar is a fake and that most of the Middle Ages never happened. It sounds like something a crazy person would say, but Herbert isn't insane. He's a scientist who says he has archaeological evidence to prove what he's calling the phantom time hypothesis. Herbert says the conspiracy began with Pope Sylvester II, Byzantine Emperor Constantine VII, and Roman Emperor Otto III. These three powerful men of the ancient world got together and changed the calendar. Emperor Otto wanted his reign to start in the year 1000 AD instead of when it really started in 996 AD. The reason behind this was that Otto thought 1000 sounded a lot better than 996. The trio then altered documents and created false historical events to make it happen. But they didn't just alter 4 years, they made up 297 years of history. The thought process behind the theory is that between 614 AD and 911 AD, nothing historically significant happened, and Herbert says there are discrepancies between the Julian calendar and the Gregorian calendar. He believes that the architecture in the 10th century. There are now supporters who believe the Middle Ages was 300 years shorter than it really was. That would mean Jesus Christ died 1700 years ago, not 2000 years ago like most biblical scholars would claim. Herbert and others who support his theory say there are documents that prove it, and apparently the church is in on it too, knowing full well that we are living in a completely wrong year.
All right. So, I saw this, and the first thing is I've never heard of this dude before. Illig Herbert. Okay. So the sentiment was right, but some of the stuff I'm like, I don't know about that. But the sentiment was right. The year is wrong. Now, the originator of this concept is Anatoly Fomenko. Okay, the originator of the concept is Anatoly Fomenko, and so whenever people talk about it, they generally talk about Fomenko. That's why when he said this dude's name, Illig Herbert, like I had to go look him up. I couldn't find nothing on this guy. I almost think he was made up as a way to cover Fomenko up. So I'm gonna keep an eye out on how much people start talking about this guy's name as they try to erase Fomenko, right? Because Fomenko is the originator of the thought, of the concept. He put the work in. And so I want to talk about Anatoly Fomenko's work. Okay. So even this concept spurred the Tartaria talk. So when people start talking about kind of the Tartaria timeline and the one world civilization and all of that stuff, that came from Fomenko deconstructing the history. So he he spawned a lot of stuff with his work and his research. So what I want to do is I want to look in it, kind of see how he got to where he got to, and then we'll look at some of the stuff he came up with. Okay. So to start with, like, how did he even get into this? Like, he didn't just wake up one day like, you know what, they lying about everything. That wasn't how he came to it. Not at all. Right? He actually came to it from a pretty interesting place. And so seeing as how we're doing the series on how all conspiracies are connected, this I found pretty interesting. So let's look at, first of all, let's look at who he is, right? Because I think this is probably one of the most important things to understand who we're talking about. So we're going to say that, the calendar's messed up, time is missing, everything's screwed up, and we need to go back to the drawing board and save it. Then I think it's only fair that, we look at who he is. So this is his wiki. Now look at this is his publications. These are his publications. Okay, so this is what he does. He's a mathematician. We're not talking about a history professor. We're not talking about social studies. We're not talking about philosophy. He's a mathematician. Anatoly Fomenko is a mathematician. And he's a Russian. He's a professor. To this day, he's still a professor in Russia. A math professor in Russia. Okay? And when you look at his publications, this ain't nothing. Okay, so we look at integrable systems on Lie algebras and symmetric spaces, differential geometry and topography, plenty of publications. Right? Like, when you look at what he's done, this is not nothing. So he's not some this guy, he's just got a degree in math. No. He's been published for a very long time. And he's got accolades up the wahoo. Okay? So this is not a nobody. That's the first thing we got to get. It's not a nobody. All right? So those are all the times he's been published. Now, oddly enough, when you go to the top of his wiki, check out this bull crap. So right here, it says he's a mathematician, true, a professor at Moscow State University, cool, a well-known topologist, cool, and a member of the Russian Academy of Sciences. Dope. He is the author of a fictitious pseudoscientific history known as the New Chronology. This dude's a mathematician, and his works that we're going to look at is based purely on math. And they're like, oh no, it's fictitious and pseudoscientific. That's disrespectful. And whenever you look him up, they put him, oh, he's a conspiracy theorist, pseudoscience, this, that, and the other. They do a lot of belittling him because of his conclusions. The method, not because of the methodology. They never point out the methodology was wrong, or the math was wrong, and anything like that. It's like it's pseudo. Okay. All right. So that's Anatoly Fomenko. Like I said, he's still alive today. So the question is, how did he get to the idea that time was messed up? All right. So he arrived here doing something very interesting. So he was studying celestial mechanics. he was studying the ways that the bodies in space orbit the Earth. Okay? So he was breaking down celestial mechanics, and he noticed an anomaly. Okay? So the anomaly had to do with, so one, the way that NASA constructs the model of the world is they use events. So they use eclipses. Okay, so they track each of the eclipses, and based on the occurrence of eclipses, they construct a mathematical model of the world, of the sky. So if we're in flat Earth rooms, you hear all the time how people talk about, well, the Earth can't be flat because we have a model, we have a mathematical model that uses a sphere. No, we don't. You have a model of stuff that you see on the Earth, and based on what you see on the Earth, you make a mathematical model of your observations. Has nothing to do with the Earth being a globe. Okay? So NASA uses the occurrence, like they track all these occurrences of eclipses, like 370 eclipses, they track them, and based on those occurrences, they create this model of what's going to happen. Okay, so they use all the historical data, and based on historical data, they're like, all right, well, based on that, this is what's going to happen. So Flamenco started looking at the data, and there's a thing in orbital mechanics. It's called parameter D. Now, the odd thing is this. Parameter D is something that they had to make up. So Robert Newton, who was a NASA astrophysicist, had to make up parameter D to account for an anomaly that happened in the sky between 800 and 1000. So between 800 BC and 1000 AD, that's about 1800 years of an anomaly. The anomaly was the moon somehow, quote unquote, got faster. So according to NASA, this is their official explanation. The moon started going faster 800 BC, and it did this for 1800 years. So from 800 BC to 1000 AD, the moon went fast. So before that, it was going one speed, and then all of a sudden it sped up for 1800 years, and then all of a sudden it slowed down. And then they'll say, oh, it was because some random gravitational phenomenon that caused the moon to, right? They're talking out their neck. And so Flamenco saw this, what's called parameter D in orbital mechanics, and he's like, yeah, that don't make no sense, right? So you got this model, and it's cool up until like 1000 AD. Before that, it goes haywire. There's nothing to be like. It doesn't do anything, right? It doesn't do anything. Like, it's not accurate. Like, you have to throw this wonky math on it for 1800 years, and then it's cool again. So Flamenco was like, yeah, nah. So first thing Flamenco did was go back and check Robert Newton's math. He was like, yo, let me go check my man's mathematics. Maybe he's making a mistake. So check the math. The math turned out to be cool. He's like, all right, so your math is good. Your math ain't the problem. All right. So there's another gentleman named Nikolai Morozov. Nikolai Morozov said the problem is the dates are wrong. Right? He was like, yo, they recorded the dates wrong. The dates that they're saying these things happen, they're incorrect. and he said that no, this stuff happened really during the Middle Ages. You got to shift that stuff forward. And so Fomenko, using the dates given to him by Morozov, so he took the same data that he had and he just ignored the dates that they gave him, and he used Morozov's dates. And by looking at Morozov's dates with the data that NASA had, he was like, oh, it's perfect. This works. This works right here. It's good. Like the anomaly went from some wild 1800-year span to zero. There's no anomaly. It's good to go. Okay? So in real talk, it wasn't even Fomenko that came up with the fact that the dates were wrong. It was this dude named Nikolai Morozov. Fomenko was the one that just put the mathematical principles to it, and he developed a method for figuring out where it was wrong at. So he did the heavy lifting. Morozov was like, hey, yo, check this out. I recalibrated it. The dates is off. Check me out. Fomenko did, and he was like, you're right. So Fomenko was actually coming to this using, like, he was looking at the mechanics of the celestial body, like orbital mechanics. So he came to it from an honest place. Like, all right, I'm trying to understand celestial mechanics. Is something wrong? Parameter D is an anomaly. It don't make no sense. Like, what is actually going on? My man Morozov was like, it don't make no sense because they recorded the dates wrong. So to this point, they're approaching this not from what Hanlon's razor. So anybody ever heard me talk about Hanlon's razor? So Hanlon's razor is don't attribute to malice what can be explained by stupidity. All right. So everybody knows Occam's razor, right? All things being equal, the simplest explanation is probably the truest. But Hanlon's razor is my favorite. All right. Don't attribute to malice what can be explained by stupidity. So they're attributing the bad dating to stupidity. Oh, they just messed it up. What you and I know is that it was malice, because these are the people that reset the world. And when they reset, so remember, they're resetting the world because they're trying to cover up what happened before they took over. And oddly enough, even before I dug into Fomenko, like before I knew anything about his conclusions, right? I had an idea of what I thought and when I thought the hijack happened. And then when I looked into Fomenko, he came to the same conclusion I came to, except for he said, "Oh no, it was just it's a mistake." Ain't no goddamn mistake. It ain't no mistake at all, right? These people are lying about history because they have to cover up what the world was before they took over. And when I say these people, I'm talking about the Roman Empire, the Roman Catholic Church. Okay? They're covering up what happened before they took over. That's what this is all about. All right? So keep that in mind as we kind of go forward. And so I'm gonna move through this because, like I said, this ain't Wednesday or Friday. So I promise y'all, I'm trying to keep this to 2 hours. So we're just gonna kind of go through some stuff. Okay. So Morozov was like, "Hey man, check out the dates are wrong, bro." He's like, "Yo, all that stuff that they saying happened 800 BC, all of that, nope. That stuff happened in what you're calling the Middle Ages, in what would be called the Middle Ages." And he was like, and Fomenko, he corrected it, and it worked out perfectly. And so that made Fomenko do more digging. So he's like, "Hey, yo, this is wild. We're talking about 1800s of messed up time. I wonder what else they messed up on. Okay. And so it took them 6 years to do this. It took him 6 years, and it wasn't just him. Okay. So he involved a lot of people. He even involved his parents. Okay. So what he did was, so he developed a metric for evaluating time periods and people in text. So he would do stuff like he would chart the times that a name was mentioned. Okay. So during these dynasties, there are specific characters. So for each of you guys right now, so if you guys are writing, let's say you're keeping a diary right now, right? In your diary, you would mention certain names in this time period. Like most of you guys right now would mention me a lot, right? Because of my greatness. And so he kept track of, when people's names were mentioned and how often in all these texts. And so he would keep track of it, per generation. Like, all right, for 30 years, this person was mentioned, and then things transition. So if you think about, let's say in high school, right? You had friends in high school, right? So you would have mentioned your high school friends. So about 4 years heavy, right? And then all of a sudden in your diary, the mentions would go down because you go from high school to college, and so certain names would get mentioned less, and then you get new names that get introduced, and then those names would be in rotation, and then after you graduate, some of those names kind of get waned down and new names come up, and so you got these periods, right, in which names get mentioned. And then they looked at how much text was written about a specific dynasty or a specific person, right? How much actual physical text was dedicated to a person. Okay. Then they looked at the parallels, right? So they looked at the events that happened, right? At what age did this person have this event happen to him, whether it was a king or the prince or a head of state, right? How old were they when they had their kids? At what age they get married? Their first house, when they move away to take a trip, was there any wars? Like all of these different metrics that they looked at, and they found a way to quantify them. Right? They found a way to quantify, right, all these different metrics that happened during all these different time periods. All right. And so, like I said, he involved everybody. So it wasn't just him. So I think a lot of the heavy lifting later on was him and this guy named Gleb Novoski. But he got his parents involved. And so you got to remember, this was during the time when there was no computers to where you put the information in the computer and then you just kind of you generate stuff. Nope. So he's a mathematician. I think his parents were kind of in the mathematician era or field. And so with his parents, he had them decode the Bible. Right? So a lot of history that we kind of know, a lot of that stuff comes from the Bible. Right? So he had his parents actually decode the Bible. And so his parents actually concluded a couple things about the Bible. One, that and so hold on, let me say this. So what he concluded is that a lot of the stories, a lot of the dynasties, a lot of the people, right? So the way he puts it, he says, oh no, it's not fictitious, they're just copies. What I would say is they made these people up. They took one dynasty and they copy and pasted it throughout history. because they were inventing history, because they had just taken over. And in order to cover up the real history, they had to put some history in its place. And because they're lazy and nobody's that creative, they looked at the history they had and just started pasting it in different time periods. They changed the names of the people. They changed the location of the events, and they changed the date and filled in the history. And so what he discovered is that there would be these shifts where they would take one story and then they would shift it, and then they would change it and then shift it again and change it, shift it again. So it would shift. The first shift would be 333 years. Then they would shift it 1,000 about 1,050 years, and then they would shift it 1,800 years. So they would just take one story and paste that joint in history a couple of times. And in doing that, they invented history. In doing that, they invented history. All right. So a lot of the people, a lot of the dynasties were copies of each other throughout history. And like I said, his parents did it. They did it to the Bible. They decoded the Bible, and they concluded the same thing. The Bible is a lot of copy and paste. And I think we actually talked about that when we did the cell salts. What's that? Esoteric biochemistry. You know what? I wish I had the screenshot from that, because it actually shows where in the Bible they did some copying and pasting. Damn it. All right, no worries. But so one of the places was Kings, right? So the book of Kings, it parallels literally with Chronicles. So that's a copy and paste. Kings and Chronicles are pretty much the same thing. And throughout the Bible, he says, yo, it's replete with copy and paste jobs. Replete with them. Okay? And as a matter of fact, while the Bible, while it pretends to take place over thousands of years, he says that all of the events in the Bible take place within a couple hundred years. Imagine everything in the Bible takes place within a couple hundred years. All of that stuff is about a couple hundred years in span. Right? But you got stories of what? You got stories of 1,000 years old, 900 years old, this, that, and the other, but nope.
Hey, so what does that mean for the Council of Troy? Does that mean it lasted as long as we be saying it lasted, or was it shorter?
Council of Troy, Council of Trent.
Trent, Troy, you know what I'm talking about.
Trent is the one that lasted for 17 years.
Yeah, that one.
That one? Yeah, so I think that 17 years is real, right? So remember, the recent history is the real stuff. They invented the history before that. Okay, so history is it's accredited to a dude named Joseph Scaliger. Once you start looking at the first historian, they tell you, yo, it's a dude named Joseph Scaliger. Hey, real quick, yo, make sure y'all like the page, subscribe. I know we on Rumble, we on Twitter. Make sure y'all follow us on YouTube, 10-4 Family. Rumble is 10-4 Fam. On Twitter, it's 10F Cookout, TINF Cookout. That's what we had on Twitter. Okay. And yo, if y'all want to send us an email, I think last week we got somebody sent us an email from one of the live streams, man. I like all the emails, yo. So send us an email at 10F Cookout. I mean, it's a P Truth Outreach. I'm sorry, P Truth Outreach. send us an email at ptruthoutreach@gmail.com.
I was about to say you a whole lot.
I know, right? PTRUTHOUTREACH@gmail.com. ptruthoutreach@gmail.com, man. Send us an email, say what's cracking. I appreciate all the mail and stuff, man. If this your first time listening, yo, hit us up, tell us, what you thought about the broadcast. And for those that don't know, we do longer versions of this on Wednesdays and Fridays. The podcast, if you look at the bottom of the screen, is Conspiracy Cookout with the Tinfoil Family. We on Apple, iHeart, Amazon, everywhere pods are cast. And if you want to catch us live, then we broadcast on YouTube. So you got to download Clubhouse, is free, and then the name of the house is called The Painful Truth. So we're live in The Painful Truth on Wednesdays at 9 o'clock Eastern and Fridays at 10 o'clock Eastern. All right, so that's where you can find us, man. Also, vigorforpain.com and blackistheuniform.com. All right, cool. So Joseph Scaliger is the guy that's accredited for, with history, the first renditions of history is credited to Joseph Scaliger. All right. So when the research that I've done, I'm gonna tell you, and I've been saying this for a long time, anybody that's been around has heard me say this. And like I said it before I even kind of dug into flamenco and what he was talking about. Flamenco. So I've been saying for a long time that the Roman Empire took over in around the 900s, right? It took over in around the 900s. Okay, and so we've got a lot of hardcore evidence, we've got physical evidence for what was going on before then. The physical evidence goes awry at around 900 or so. It's like there's a and I'm talking strictly about physical evidence, right? So buildings and coins and things of that nature. The physical evidence gets real shaky at around the 900s. And then after the 900s, all of a sudden we're in 1800. It's 900 happens, and then something happens in the world, and then next thing you know, it's 1800, right? 1800s come out of nowhere. There are lots of stories and tales about what happened in the 1400s and 1500s and 17, right, and 16, but not a lot of physical evidence about that time period. Okay. And so what flamenco concludes is that all the stuff that happened are history, all the real, everything that happened in history happened between, everything that's written about in mainstream history, I should say, happened between the 10th century and the 17th century. All the historical stuff that people talk about, BC this, BC that, right? All of that stuff happened between the 10th and 17th centuries. And that sounds about right to me. So one of the things is when you look at the number of calendars that go on, right? So time is confusing anyway. So this is a list of calendars that are still in play today, right? And this is as of January 2023. Look at all these different calendars. So you got the Assyrian calendar, right, which is at year 6,771. You have the Hebrew calendar, which is at year 5,783. The Chinese calendar is at 4720. The Julian is at 2776. The Buddhist is at 2563. The Gregorian, which we're on right now, is at 2023. The Hindus, 1944. Yo, they didn't put the Ethiopian up in here. The Ethiopian calendar is 7 years behind us. So they're 2016, I think. Right? 3, 4, yeah, about 2016.
Bro, if everybody got all these different calendars, how can we take anything seriously?
Great question, my man. Great freaking question. All right? Great question. The Islamic calendar is at 1444. Persians at 1401, and the French Revolutionary is at 230. All right. So personally, I think in terms of where we really are, I think the Islamic calendar is probably the most accurate for myself. So if I had to cast my vote, it would be on the Islamic calendar about where we are. If I had to cast my vote. All right. Now, oddly enough, I was I think there's a so what is it? Was it there's a mud flood documentary that has a lady in it, and I think it was shot in the 90s, and she said she was born in the year she said she was born in the year 7453 or some shit. So and so she's in like the Iranat Valley in Russia. And I can't remember what calendar that is. There's a longer calendar than this, than the Assyrian one. But she said she was born in the year 7453 or something like that. I think I have a screenshot from that. Maybe I'll try to pull it up. Right? But for me, I think we're here. I think we're here. Right? Yeah, I think we're here. All right. So, in terms of flamenco, right? So what he's saying is that they've taken, so one, the Holy Roman Empire came to power. Okay, here, let me put it like this. The Holy Roman Empire came to power. And there were things that happened when they came to power. Okay, so it was on some Game of Thrones type stuff, right? Where once they conquered what they had to conquer, right? The first thing they did was they started the time. Well, they came up with the time that would allow them to hide the history of the previous civilization. And so for that, they can't change it to 0. Okay, which is interesting because the French calendar, I don't know if y'all saw on the graphic I just showed you, the French calendar is at 230. And that's at the time of the French Revolution, which I think is around the time where things got kind of reset. Around that time. So the French, after the French Revolution, started their calendar at 0. And so I honestly think that's about the time that the world got reset, around 230 years ago. It feels about right to me. That's why when I say that, things went dark in around 900, something happened, and next thing you know, the Roman Empire is resetting the world. You take that time, the 230 minus some war time for things to get settled, and they come out. Yeah, that feels about right. The Islamic calendar feels right to me. Right. So, when it comes to the Roman Empire, they come to power. They get rid of all the other stuff, and they have to hide the history of this place. So they can't let the real history be known. So that's when they go around burning books, burning maps, conquering people, killing off people. They're changing where things are on the map, right? Inverse law, they're inverting everything. Okay, they're inverting everything, getting rid of places, change this from that to this, right? And so they're confusing people. They're inventing languages. They're inventing religions. All the religions that we know, a lot of them joints is real new. All them Abrahamic religions is real new. A lot of the languages is German, Italian, French. These are really new languages. Really new languages. Okay. So all of this stuff so it's all new. It's all made up. So they're inventing all this. They're inventing history, like Marty was just talking about the Council of Trent. That's where they were inventing a lot of this stuff. All those councils that they're talking about, the Council of Nicaea, the Council of Trent, the Council of Troy, all of that stuff is them figuring out the lie that they're going to tell. You ever heard the quote, history is a lie agreed upon? That's the place where they were agreeing upon the lies. All those councils. That's where they were agreeing upon all the fucking lies. Okay. And so here, I want to run through some stuff that Flamenco kind of concluded. All right. Here, let's see. This one of them. Oh yeah, okay, here we go. So this is one right here. So let's look at this. So I don't know if y'all can see this. It says the kingdom of Judah, according to the Bible, right? With the capital in Jerusalem. So this is the kingdom of Judah, of Judea, according to the Bible, with the capital in Jerusalem. All right, and so they're comparing it to the Eastern Roman Empire from 306 AD to 700 AD with the capital in Rome. And pretty much what they're showing is that these stories, right, have the same profile. These empires have the same profile, right? It's the same profile. Okay. They follow a similar story arc, which is statistically damn near impossible. And so this is just a copy of this. The story in the Bible is a carbon copy of this story right here. And that's not even saying that this story is real. Because this could be a carbon copy of another story. So this story, this is the original, this is the carbon copy. And so this is what it looks like. Right? This is what it looks like. So when the mathematicians put together a rubric and break down an empire with the kings and the people and the events, this is what it looks like. Right? And so what they're saying is that these things are statistically, they're way too close to be an accident. Right? Way too close to be an accident. These are the same events. Okay. Let's see. Let's get a couple more. All right. Let's get a couple more. So that was that one. All right. Let's see. This is let's see. All right, here we go. The last royal period of monarchical Athens and the last Byzantine empires. Right? And so here we go. We start looking at emperors and we ask questions. All right, well, when was he born? How long did he rule? How many kids did he have? Did he go to war? Like you just start asking all these questions. So you put together a rubric and the profile of an empire. And what you find is things that are too close to be statistically a coincidence. Okay, so this is what you get. See this? All right, it's the same thing. These are the same stories, right? These are the real stories. Copy and paste right here. Copy and paste. These are the real stories. This is the copy and paste job. So remember, they had to invent a lot of history in a lot of places. And so the easiest thing to do is to just copy and paste that joint, man. The easiest thing to do is to copy and paste it. All right. So let's see. This is, oh man. Let's see. Justinian. Oh man, what is the? Hold on. Can't see the top. I can't see the top. Oh, here we go. On the left, a superposition of the First Byzantine Empire from 527 to 829 upon the Second Byzantine Empire from 829 to 1204. All right. By duration of the reign of with a rigid 340-year shift. On the right is superposition of the 867 through 1143 AD dynasty jet from the Second Byzantine Empire upon the Third Byzantine Empire, 1204 to 1453, by duration of reign with a 330-year shift. Datings of reign are taken from 76 and 195. Gotcha. So these are two empires. So I think this is the First and Second Byzantine Empire, and this is the Second and Third Byzantine Empire. All right. And so so what happens is, like I said, they would take these things and then they would shift them in time period. They would just shift them, right, to kind of put them in place. And so what they're saying is that the first is equal to the second, and the second is equal to the third, which means it's just it's a copy and paste job. It's a copy and paste job. They just kept telling the same story in the same place over and over again. It's a copy and paste job. Okay. They just kept copying and pasting because, again, I don't care who you are and how much time you got. Making up history is hard. Why make it up when you can just copy, when you just paste that shit? Change some names, change some dates, change some location, and yo, boom, you got it. Copy and paste job. First Byzantine to the Second Byzantine, then the Second Byzantine to the Third Byzantine. It's all the same shit. All the same shit. All right. All the same stuff. All right, let's look at another one. All right, so now this is the Holy Roman Empire in the 12th, from the 10th to the 13th century, in the Kingdom of Judah in the Bible. Okay, look at this. Look at that. Identical. Identical. So they took what happened here, pasted that joint in the Bible. Pasted in the Bible. So what happened here, you know what? Just paste that joint in the Bible. We got to make some religious texts, and we ain't got a lot of time, man. We tired of all this. Copy and paste, easy. Ain't got a lot of time. Hey, yo, real quick aside, while we doing this one. Hey, hold on, where is it at? Does anybody know? Y'all think they did this in like American history? Anybody ever think they did this in American history?
Yeah.
Right? Yo, you want to see something? Y'all tell me what y'all think. Hold on. Tell me what y'all think about this. Where is it at? John Adams and Thomas Jefferson died on the same day. It's odd to y'all. What if one of these guys didn't exist? What if one was just a copy of the other? Because he was the second president, he was the third president. What if they was the same dude? They just kind of made up a story about one of them. They died on the same day.
So who do you think would be the real story?
You know what? I think what Flamenco would say is that it was all the truth is just compressed. I mean, it's just spread out. So once you take you take like all the stories are true, they just separated them into two people. You know what I'm saying? All the stories are true. They just said so. Even with this stuff, so like I said, they're more of these aren't lies. You just gotta the dates are just wrong. So all the stuff happened. It's just that the dates are wrong. It just happened in a much shorter time span and in a different place than what they say. To me, that's a lie. I think they're being nice. They're being nice when they say, "Oh no, it's all still true. It just happened, differently." To me, they goddamn they being super nice and not calling people fucking liars, and they're not calling out what really happened. That's what it seems like. They really don't want to call out what really happened, right? They just kind of want to put their work out and go about their business. You know what I'm saying? So we got Angelia in England and the Byzantine Empire. Okay. Angelia in England and the Byzantine Empire. An identification of the English dynastic jet of 643 to 1327 AD with the Byzantine Empire from 378 to 1453. All right. The Byzantine is the real. Angelia is the cap. Okay. It's the real, and then they just paste it because remember, they had to invent the history of England. Remember when I tell dude, we talk about all the time how the black nobility in Europe and all the people that were there and how they went in and shipped all them people out. Well, shit, you can't ship all the people out without putting the history there. Right? We did a whole show where we went through and read off the names of the people in the description, and then we looked at the pictures that they were given, and they did not look like what the description. Well, they have to invent a history. They had to invent a history to go in that place. All these places on earth need history. If you're going to erase the history that was there, you got to put something over it. Boom. We're just going to copy this, paste it here, and keep it pushing. Copy and paste jobs galore. All right. Close that. Close that. And we're here. All right. So this is a, let's see, this is the, let's see, the Holy Roman Empire, right, of the German nation and the biblical kingdom of Israel. Okay. It's a rigid shift of roughly 1,840 years. So they took this information right here, right? Took this information and put it in the Bible, right, in the BC times, right? So they shifted it 1,800 years in the past. Because again, got to go back pretty far, my G. We got a lot of history to make up. So they just took this and threw it in the Bible. You know what? We all good, bro. They shifted this shit 1,800 years. All right. So let's see. 1,800. Let's go with this. All right. This is the Roman and German Empire of the 10th to 13th century. All right. That's this. In the Kingdom of Judah in the Bible. Okay. So the biblical duration is about 395 years. Okay. And so, boom. Looks the same. Looks the same. All right. Looks the same. It's all the same, homie. They just do this over and over and over again. Copy and paste jobs. In the Bible, that's how the Bible is constructed. That's how a lot of history books is constructed. They just took people and they spread them out. They spread their attributes out. They spread a lot of the accomplishments out. Right? Over and over again. Okay. Any questions about any of this right here? So I haven't even gone through all of them. Y'all, I don't know if y'all saw. It's a bunch more to go through. Right? And so this is the work of Anatoly Fomenko. So again, what he's saying is all of this stuff, all of history, everything that had all the natural history that we have, the real history, all of that stuff took place between the 10th century and the 17th century. And the thing is, even after that, we're still not on task. Like I said, I think we're in the 1400s. All right. I think he has us. So he has a shift of around 600 years, I believe. I think it's about 600 years. Right. So he has, yeah. You know what I mean? So I was looking at something. I'm gonna tell y'all. So the whole AD and BC thing, right? I don't know if I've mentioned. I've mentioned this to some of y'all before about where I think it comes from. So I'm gonna tell y'all something. Where is it at? It's here. So this, I saw this and I was like, ooh, because it's something I had said before. So it's about the city of London, right? So remember, the city of London is not part of London, right? That's one of the things that we'll talk about that a little later. But London, this part right here, it constituted most of London from its settlement by the Romans in the 1st century AD. Meaning London was established in 1 AD. Means it's really new. This is a post-reset city. It was invented after the Holy Roman Empire took over. And this is the demarcation of AD to BC. AD is literally after the Holy Roman Empire took over. That's a demarcation of BC to AD. BC is before they conquered it, and AD is after they conquered it, during their time. Has nothing to do with the birth of Christ. It's all about the Roman Empire and when they took over. Before the Caesars, right? And after, and Anno Domini. So I think there was an emperor who had a son named Anno Dominique. I think like the second emperor that took over, his son came to power. His name was Anno Dominique. I think that's this right here. Right? BC is before the Caesars, and then and that's before the Roman Empire took over. That's pre-reset stuff. Right? That's what BC means. Well, this happened before the reset. But a lot of that stuff happened after they took over. And then they'll just pretend like it happened before that. But the demarcations of time, AD and BC, are 100% about the Romans taking over. It's a demarcation of before the Roman Empire came to power and after. Okay. Yo, any questions? Any questions? All right. So I'm trying to keep to my word, man, and not do long cooks. So I got, like I said, I got a bunch more slides about dynasties, which dynasties are what, but I'm not going to do them all. Maybe we'll come back and we'll do a part 2 to this because it's some good stuff here. But yeah. All right, man. Like I said, this is one of them subjects where I talk really matter-of-factly about it, and the people that are around me, y'all know how I get down. So, you know, when I say it, they just kind of roll with it. And so if you guys are like going to come and listen to the shows and be a part of the podcast, and y'all, and I want y'all to know exactly where I'm coming from. So when I say something, I say it matter-of-factly, like y'all know, oh, this is what he thinks, right? This is what he thinks. And if you got questions about it, by all means, hit us up. Send an email, ptruthoutreach@gmail.com. ptruthoutreach@gmail.com. Other than that, man, we're gonna be we got 2 shows left this week, Wednesday and Friday. So we're doing a series on how everything is connected. All conspiracies are connected to one another. So we're doing those on the podcast on Fridays. So this Friday is the last Friday. I don't know what we're gonna do on Wednesday. I gotta think about it. But yeah, I want to thank y'all for coming hanging out with the fam, though. This is pretty cool. Like I said, I thought this is actually one of my favorite topics right here. Because it gets to the crux of a lot of stuff. Like the calendar is at the intersection of a lot of stuff. Right? We can't talk about anything without talking about when it happened. And as you can see, Flamenco got into this because he was looking at orbital mechanics, right, in the sky. And from that, he got into, oh shit, the calendar ain't real. And Tartaria was here. And all these different structures. And there was a mud flood. Like, it's a bunch of stuff that came just from him saying, yeah, let me try to understand exactly what's going on in the sky. It's all connected. All right. All right, man. I hope this was good enough to kind of get the point across. Like I said, if it's not, I'll definitely have to do a part 2 because it's a lot more to go with it. But yeah, man, it's cool. Appreciate y'all hanging out, man. Remember, blackistheuniform.com. Blackistheuniform.com. We got astrology tees. We got talking tees, right? We got the slides, right? Got all kinds of t-shirts and gear, man. Don't be afraid to go to blackistheuniform.com and cop something, man. Cop something. Also, victorpain.com, victorpain.com. World's greatest topical CBD products. That being said, man, I'm gonna holler at y'all in a minute, man. We'll see y'all next week. Remember, follow, like the videos, follow the page, subscribe on Rumble, follow us on Twitter, follow us on YouTube. Like I said, YouTube is 10-4 Family, Twitter is 10F Cookout, and on Rumble it is 10-4 Fam. So, man, I appreciate all y'all hanging out with us, though. All right, peace. I'm gonna see y'all in a minute.